Today I would like to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects, the Goily Men. The Goily Men of sea shipping. You know, they're foreigners. The good captain there, Captain Kangaroo, Admiral Beauregard Watson, recently he appeared on a Japanese television show being interviewed by a noted photojournalist. But the good captain was not able to do that in Japan because he's wanted. There's an arrest warrant issued for him by the Tokyo Metropolitan Police. So he had to do the interview by camera remotely in another location, another country. That was it, kids. Well, the interviewer labels him as an eco-terrorist. Well, he didn't really label him as that. He just repeated what the FBI here in the United States labeled sea shipping as being eco-terrorist. So the venue for this interview was a large studio with a huge screen in the middle and Japanese school children on both sides in the audience. And in the middle was Admiral Beauregard Watson, Captain Kangaroo. There he was, folks, in all his glory for everybody to see. Well, now, the interviewer asked him, before the questions, I think, or somewhere along the questions, comes up the subject, or it's mentioned, the money that sea shipper Beauregard Watson, Captain Kangaroo, have made off of whale wars from suckers around the world, showing this chart. You see, when whale wars started, how the graph shoots right up there? Because people are falling for this nonsense shown on whale wars as trying to make it look like they're the great protectors of the seas, when in actuality they're exploiters of the money in your pocket. Very simple. Culinary imperialists, eco-terrorists. So now the interview asked about the incident a few years ago where Beauregard Watson claimed to have been shot. They're on the high seas on their rust bucket garbage scow next to the Japanese whaling vessel. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Beauregard is hit in the chest with a bullet. But he was wearing a bulletproof vest, and the bullet pierced the vest and was blocked by that badge he wears. You know, self-appointed law enforcement. But he says now in this interview, I don't know who shot me. I can't say the Japanese shot me. I have no idea who shot me. But earlier he had mentioned, he said that about that incident. No one on that rust bucket garbage scow carries weapons. So it was no one on that ship. So if it was no one on his ship, and the only other ship there was the Japanese, then using deductive reasoning, he's accusing the Japanese of shooting him when he's saying right now, I have no idea who shot me. Well, was it a mutiny? Did the Goily Men children finally wise up and try to mutiny on you? Then one of the students in the audience asked Captain Kangaroo, Admiral Beauregard Watson, something to the effect about not being engaged in violence, yet you throw bottles of acid at the Japanese whalers. And the captain, Admiral Beauregard Watson, says, acid? We don't throw acid at them. To which I and everyone else in the audience is probably thinking, really? Because at that time, on the screen appeared a photo of the bottle that the anti-whalers, eco-terrorists, threw on the Japanese ship, a broken bottle that is labeled quite clearly acid. Now, how stupid you going to be? You're going to throw bottles of acid at somebody and make sure the bottles are labeled acid. Then you're going to say, well, that's not acid. Well, I'll tell you what, if it's not acid, can I pour it in your eyes and you show me how it's not acid? What, are you stupid? Well, the people who donate to that organization, they're the stupid ones because they believe, why, that's just rotten butter. Well, so let's just say it is just rotten butter. Let's just say that bottle was mislabeled or accidentally the wrong label was put on there and it was nothing but rotten butter. How come he did not address the fact that, all right, you now have broken glass on the slippery deck of a ship on the high seas? Is that not violence? Throwing glass bottles at people? I think that's violence, folks. So then he's mentioned, or he's questioned about ramming the Japanese whaling vessel. And he says, us? Well, we never rammed a Japanese vessel. That's what he said, kids. He says, as a matter of fact, we were rammed. So once again, we have to give him another. Really? Look at this video footage. The rust bucket garbage guy belonging to the girly men of Sea Shepherd is the black vessel in the back. The one in the front is a Japanese whaling vessel. You look at this and tell me who did the ramming.
はい、衝突します。衝突します。衝突します。衝突します。はい、スティーブ・アウイン体当たりしました。
And was it not the rust bucket girly man of Sea Shepherd ramming the Japanese vessel? Perhaps if we played the video backwards, you'd be able to appreciate what Captain Kangaroo, Admiral Beauregard Watson, was saying when he thought the Japanese rammed him. What are you, nuts? He rammed the Japanese and now he's saying, well, they rammed us. Reminds me of a time when I was in school, the social studies teacher stepped on my foot and he blamed me for dirtying the bottom of his shoe. Alright, so now another student asked Captain Kangaroo, the Admiral Beauregard Watson, you say it's wrong to kill whales, but yet you kill cows and you eat beef? And Admiral Beauregard Watson says, I do not eat beef, and nobody on my crew eats beef. Well, if you look at Beauregard there, he's rather hefty. So he may not eat beef, but he certainly eats everything else. He may have eaten whale meat. I've eaten whale meat and it was good. Right here in that belly, that's where that's where it went. So now the good cat in there, if you look at him, he's wearing a white t-shirt. Gee, I wonder who else wears white t-shirts. Huh. Is he trying to take after his hero Texas daddy? Except there's a big difference. My shirt is clean. So since the good cat wants to imitate me, I'll think I'll honor him or dishonor him by imitating him. See? That's me. That's me, kids. Captain Beauregard Watson. Alright. Oh, when I saw that Admiral Beauregard Watson and the Japanese program there, it brought to mind this mug, throwing the barbarians out of Japan. That's what it basically says here. That's right, kids. The samurai spirit to protect the sons and daughters of Nippon. No violence, alright, folks? Alright. Oh, incidentally, I'd like to thank a good friend of mine in Japan, a noted journalist and reporter, for bringing this story to light to me by sending me the links to it. Thank you so much. Alright, folks. We'll see you. God bless you. God bless America. God bless the nation you happen to be in. And God bless Japan. We'll see you, folks.